Welcome to Out Magazine. We're here with Tariq and Jaya, the founders of BloomingBox. So excited to talk to you guys. Can we start by you telling us a little bit about yourselves and what brings you to the UAE?
Sure. I was born and raised in the UAE. Both my parents came in with
Okay. Amazing. How about you?
Thanks for having us. I moved here in 2006. I was in the hospitality sector in the past. I moved from London to Dubai. So I've been here for over 15 years now.
Fantastic. Now tell us about the BloomingBox concept, and why you started this.
Okay, so we're an online gifting experience. We're a gifting platform, allowing all customers to gift their loved ones, whether it's family, friends, or colleagues, from a wide variety of gifts that are typically affordable. And we've managed to even simplify the overall online experience. As to why we launched the business, in 2017, we realized that there's a gap in the online gifting industry in general. We realized that there are websites that are offering not too premium looking products at an okay rate, or you'd find the website that's offering a premium line of products at an expensive rate. So we wanted to come in the middle and offer what we call the luxury line.
Fantastic. Now, who shops at BloomingBox?
Our customers are typically from all around the UAE, both citizens and residents. And basically, if I can describe our typical customer, then it's basically anyone who has an eye for quality and who values it for quality.
Fantastic. Now, tell me a little bit more about your products. So you've told us why you started. Tell us a little bit about your products.
So we have, as of now, we have a variety of 5 different categories of products. We've got flowers, we've got chocolates, we've got cakes and treats and dance. Everything we do at BloomingBox is a purpose. And so all our products are made with the highest form of packaging. We take very much pride in our packaging, whether it's the special paper we use, whether it's the fact that they're water resistant, to the quality of the products that go inside. So we want to ensure that BloomingBox as a brand and as a product is something that people fancy that gift to each other.
Now the products look amazing. For you to say they don't cost that much, they're affordable luxury, they really look amazing. So I am sure customers will be running through the door to get these products because, if we look at the flowers that's in the middle there, it looks amazing, it looks luxurious. Now, success is talked about quite a lot, especially in business. And we know as entrepreneurs, that means different things to different people. What would you say is the secret to your success?
Secret to our success, I think we share both. We have individually we look at it as dedication, being passionate about what you do, and having a great partner, co-founder, is key to success. I'd add to that. I totally agree. I think I wouldn't call it a secret as much as I think the secret is in applying what we do about this, because a lot of people know what's right, but to apply it is another thing, right? I think persistence is definitely one thing that we both value about. We're patient when we need to be patient, yet we're fast when we have to be fast. We love innovation, and as I told you earlier, we love offering products that have a purpose. So we don't just go ahead and decide to offer anything, but instead it has to have a purpose. It needs to serve a need.
Now, tell us a surprising fact about your industry. I know, people see gifts and they think, okay, we know everything about this. It's just some guys who come together to gift us great things for our loved ones. Now, what's a surprising fact about the industry you work in?
So I think there's several surprises you can encounter in such a business, right? Starting off with the fact that when we first launched the business, we had a specific target audience in mind. But it turned out to be that we got a completely opposite target audience attracted to the business. And that was one of the surprises we encountered as partners in this business. Another surprise is people might not really know how long and how lengthy it is to source flowers in general, right? Yes, it's at ease, but to ensure that the flowers are always fresh and in the right quality and the right form to be delivered to the customer as an end result in an amazing form is not an easy job. And we're very particular about our designs and our quality.
It took us a while to understand the whole flower life cycle. And never knew roses actually comes out flat packed from the farm. So that's a first lesson that we learned. The life cycle of a rose then goes through almost 30 days. So it is a journey. We're not experts, but we are learning as the day goes.
I think another thing to add just very quickly is that people might not know this, but we have no experience in flowers or gifting. We're not gifters ourselves, nor are we flower experts. But I think, as Jaya said, with time we've managed to learn and understand and breathe the brand. So today we are in a position to say that we do understand the industry and the challenges that come with it.
So it is about that growth, wanting to start something and to grow with it and learn with it. So that's amazing. Not every entrepreneur is going to know their product inside out from the beginning, but the main thing is knowing it as you grow and knowing your market, knowing your business.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, we think of entrepreneurship, and most people think of entrepreneurship as, you know what, I get to decide on my own time, I get to go to work when I want to, I get to tell people what I think they should be doing. What's one of the biggest misconceptions you think about being an entrepreneur?
So we've got two types of misconceptions, right? There is the misconception about our business, which Jaya will talk about a bit later, and then there's a misconception about entrepreneurship. I think the media has glorified entrepreneurship. I think it's been perceived as this la la land, right? You can wake up tomorrow, decide to be an entrepreneur, own your time, be your own boss, and that life's gonna be all rainbows. But it's not the case, and it's a very lonely road. And as they say, an entrepreneur is someone who jumps off the cliff and then builds the parachute on the way. And so there's a lot of challenges that come with being an entrepreneur. And I truly believe, humbly saying this, it's not built for everyone. I think there are people who can substantially grow in a career field in a corporate industry, just like an entrepreneur can within that industry. So there's that misconception. And I think as a business,
we need the appetite. If you are not cut out for it, because there's no one will be pushing you to start early or finish late. It's all in your mindset. What do you want
you're
to
your own
achieve?
boss.
Yes.
So there's no worse critique than yourself to yourself.
So, would you say there are certain traits that an entrepreneur would have?
I think you got to have. You need to master all the traits, because when we started, we had to do everything from scratch. We were not dependent on, we were dependent on third parties or other business partners who were going to help us in certain way along the way. We, like any other entrepreneur, when we started on a piece of paper thinking we will try to simplify this, but truth be told, we had to go back to the drawing board and roll up our sleeve, and we did delivery on our own for 9 months before we hired a delivery company. We needed to know the journey of a driver, what they go through, the pain points, so we can only from the bottom build upwards. And I think like what that is, it's a journey that have to be there. Customers as well. I won't say they're not kind, but they will, because it's a gifting platform, expectations are there. So you're working with emotional level. So,
and to add to that misconception about our business particularly, we've been perceived as a flower business. But the truth is we're not. BloomingBox is so much more, right? And we're here to revolutionize the entire gifting experience. So we're more about gifts than just flowers.
Okay, now we are looking forward to that for sure, because what you want to do is be the innovators of gifting. So we are looking forward to seeing what is to come. I just wanted to pull you back a little bit towards the question around entrepreneurship. And that's because we see a lot of people out there who said they want to become an entrepreneur. If you had a message for a young entrepreneur coming up, what would you say to them?
one thing comes in mind is to the misconception of failure. So fail as soon as possible to learn, and not down the road after you build your business. Because by failing we learned, and where we are today is the lessons we carry forward. So hard work and learning your business is crucial, and you got to do it yourself, not to be dependent on anyone else apart from your business partner, your co-founders that you have. Those are the critical points that I may want to give as an advice.
I think to add to that, it's because today we're talking to a different generation, right? In the past, maybe 5-6 years ago, you'd be talking to someone in the age of 24, 25, maybe 27, 28. But today you're talking to someone who's 16 and 17. And right, we need to go back a bit to the basics. So I would always say, first of all, know your why. Why are you launching your business? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? If you have the right reasons, then it makes sense. If it's just because you want to own your time, I don't think that's an enough reason. It can definitely be one of the reasons, but it cannot be the only reason. Another thing is, don't fall into what I like to call market benchmarks, right? There's this thing where the market dictates what's right and what's wrong. So it kind of curves your path or creates your path for you, but instead go after what you believe is right and follow your gut feeling in certain places. Because I was told at a certain age I shouldn't be earning this amount just because it's known in the market not to earn that amount at that age. But the reality is, there's no rules. There are YouTubers today making tens of millions of dollars a year, and at the ages of 16, 17, 18, and 19. And so the market has changed. The entrepreneurship term itself has changed. Today you'll find more people interested in entrepreneurship than in a regular career, versus 20 years ago where it was the complete opposite. And so the last thing I'd like to say is learn the difference between schooling and learning. In my humble opinion, I believe schools are not built for entrepreneurs. And so it's natural if you've had the entrepreneurship spirit since you were a kid to not have liked school, nor studying at school. But there's a misconception about learning at school, because learning is something that you can acquire from all different resources. And it goes a long way with your entrepreneurship journey. So learn the difference between school and learning, because learning is definitely going to push you forward.
There's our gem. Learn the difference between schooling and learning. So we always get some great gems at Out and About, and we like to point out some of the things that we want for listeners, readers, and viewers to remember. Of course, they're going to remember everything you've said, but we just want to pick out some key points. Now, you talked about change and how entrepreneurship has changed. Now, how do you see your industry changing in the next few years?
Well, I mean, for us as a brand, as BloomingBox, we want to do what every other giant has done for once, for every industry that they were part of. So take Apple, for instance. They've revolutionized the phone experience. They've revolutionized the entire tech experience. So what BloomingBox is here to do is to revolutionize the gifting experience.
Tech. We'll stop right there on tech. Now, tech is huge now. Tech was big before COVID. Tech is even bigger and more important now. So tell us about how you've revolutionized the use of technology in your business, and how do you plan on that journey developing in the next few years?
I think there's two parts here. One is the customer facing, which would be our website, portals that we use to buy products, and the other technology is the back end of it, where how do we deliver those items, and what are the supply chain process that goes through the whole journey from someone buying to us delivering. So technology plays at all levels crucial. For example, getting the customer's address. We normally used to call someone and get the address, but have simplified the process where automated by sending a WhatsApp message where they just have to drop a pin, and that gets automatically goes into the delivery fleet. So everything has a process and a time. So that's where technology plays a part in our field. But enhancing the customer experience, it's crucial. How do you simplify from someone coming in to our website, buying something as a snap of a finger, and checking out, and then the item is being delivered. 95% of our products are sold as gifts. So most users who buy, they don't experience it themselves. So they have to rely on the friends or the loved one that they bought, that we are cherishing their joy, their passion.
So you're technically pleasing two people in every order, not one.
Yeah, and yeah, that's kind of puts us in a very tight spot, but we try to please as much as possible.
I think to add to that, it's if you look at 10 years ago, because we're both from e-commerce background, and the whole experience was on desktop. But today, 89% of our customers are buying via mobile. And so the mobile industry has been changing significantly over the years. And one thing that we do, because again, we're in e-commerce, so our website is our client-facing platform. And so we put a lot of research into the consumer experience. We have, like for example, currently we've been studying the consumer behavior on our website itself for the past 2 years. And we've realized that as the phones grew bigger, people's behavior has changed. So let's take an example of the first iPhone edition, right? You can reach out to anywhere in the iPhone screen with one hand, with one thumb. But today with the iPhone Pro, and even the Pro Max, it needs two hands to reach the top part, which means you have to take everything to the half button side of the phone. So we monitor those experiences, we leverage on consumer frustrations, and then we readjust the experience to suit those customers. And we take it to that level where we actually tend to monitor a lot of our customers' experiences, and we have the tool to do so. And we also phone our customers and allow them to give their own fair share of feedback, because we might like our experience, but they might not. So I think there's a lot of technology involved in the user experience from us.
Your website goes down, what do you do?
Oh, we have a foolproof plan, or we try to say plan, but we do a foolproof plan on going offline. And me coming from the hospitality sector, we get this all the time, and systems to operate. What do you do? So we do have a protocol on doing things manually.
We can.
And we can. We have pulled it off.
We manage that.
Fantastic. I'm very happy to hear that.
It took some time, right?
Yeah.
But then we realized that our customers are persistent. They want to own a BloomingBox, or they want to buy a BloomingBox. So we had to be creative in a manner where we need to operate offline, so we can.
That's fantastic to hear, because there would be no business if your website goes down suddenly for an hour or so and there was no plan. So I'm very happy. I'm sure you would have a plan. You are very, very smart gentleman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, you've managed to grow this business so quickly. So of course you have a foolproof plan. Now, as entrepreneurs, before you became entrepreneurs, you were on a career journey. What's one of your biggest life lessons you think you learned along your journey from being maybe a 9-to-5 career person to coming to start your journey as entrepreneurs?
I think for me, it's like Jaya said earlier. I'll be honest, for me, it's always been an entrepreneurship journey, ever since I was a kid. And so I did take a career path for a short span of my life, but that didn't form my entrepreneurship journey. So that's when I decided that, okay, this is for sure not suitable for me. I do want to go down the route of entrepreneurship along with e-commerce. But like Jaya said earlier, for me, the partnership is crucial, right? It's like a marriage. So you guys are sharing a similar vision, yet it needs to be very diverse in terms of skill set, because you want to be complementing each other and not just adding the same value to the business. And that's what, luckily today, me and Jaya both have. Another key learning is that people underestimate finance in business, right? And so finance is everything in business. And so if you manage to master, or at least grasp a decent amount of knowledge on how to run your finance in the company, whether it's cash reposition, to cash cash management to balance sheets and P&Ls, then that goes a long way as well in the business. That's a solid background to have. And the last thing I'd say is, you can have millions of dollars spent on marketing, but the strongest form of marketing is word of mouth. So if you're offering the right product and service and the right experience, then that's your ultimate marketing medium method, I'd say. So it's a combination of things, but I think there's far more I can share, but I think those are the 3 key learnings that I managed to learn across the way.
Now, I just wanted to pick on something that you said. You said you knew that the career path, the 9 to 5 wasn't for you. How did you know that?
Oh, easy. I think growing up, I've always valued freedom. And I come from an entrepreneurship spirit family, back when entrepreneurship was not too common. And so I've witnessed the difference. And I can tell that in one side of the equation, you're just a number on an Excel that is meant to earn X based on the income you generate for the business. Whereas as an entrepreneur, there's no limitations. Another key thing for me is because I enjoy learning and growing a lot. It's evolving as such. It's when you work in a career path which limits you to a certain title, let's say, then you're limited to what you can learn because you don't have access to everything in a company. And so I felt like I was being restricted from learning what I wanted to learn in the first place. And I think the last thing is, I know it's common that people say it's the timings, 9 to 6, 9 to 6, 9 to 6. Today we clock in way more than 9 to 6 in the office, right? But the difference is we do it here with passion, with love. We enjoy going to the office. We want to engage with the people in the office. And if you have the right team, then it's priceless. So I think it was an easy call for me.
Now, I just want to switch gears a little bit. Mental health has been a big thing, especially in this season. And I remember a couple of years ago, we wrote a piece about men and mental health because it was always seen that, men are big and strong, they don't think about their mental health because they're then seen as being weak. So I wanted to know from you, how do you look after your mental health? And maybe what messages would you give to men to ensure that they're also thinking about their mental health?
Well, it's a life journey. It's not as easy as said that. We read this all the time, quotes, videos, but I think it's all about trying to understand yourself and your capabilities. I mean, I have to thank Tariq and my wife who keeps me sane, and also the team that they understand. But I think it's important to take time out from time to time to take a step back and assess and relook at the situation, because sometimes if your mind is too clouded and you don't have the clarity, you will never be able to give 100%. And in our case, there are 40 odd people that who is part of our team who depend on this. So they depend on our clarity and being 100%. So do our best. I know we both have a very different approach to this, and me personally, it's a learning journey. It's not easily said like that, but try to be more conscious about that.
What does your time out look like? You mentioned, taking some time out. What does that look like for you?
My time out?
Yes.
It's more like I step back, not operationally being involved. I try not to think about work, but more, I might just go play an online quick pool game just to cut off, or go look at the flower market. What do they have that we can procure? It's all online portals, or just changing the routine, trying to do as much exercise as possible. I must admit, not doing that much, but I wish that I can get that more into my routine. But it's breaking the or going for a drive, 10 minutes, just stepping out and go do a different job, so that doesn't get too mundane and don't get worked out. yeah, that's how I've been doing it for the last 3 years.
How about you, Tariq?
It's a very interesting question, right? Because again, the time is changing. And I think things are more visible. 15, 20 years ago, people would be ashamed to go out and say, I face anxiety or I face this and that. Today, we're in a better position to share and express. Yet, studies have shown that the mind and the body are connected. And so, the way I do it is I ensure that my physical activity is fulfilled at least 3 times a week. Whether it's, so I like to wake up early in the morning, so I start with that. Whether it's hitting the gym, to going for a swim, to doing a bit of horse riding, that's my, I would say, time out. And I also try to balance a decent diet. I'm not going to say, a hardcore diet, because I enjoy food and I love food and that gives me pleasure. And I also love reading articles. That's more on the mental side, along with documentaries that I'd say I enjoy following certain people I look up to that I learn a lot from. And just to give one more thing, it's I know it's easier said than done, but the reality to it is that everything ends. The good ends and the bad ends. So the more you realize, because there's this thing when I sit with people, especially the 16, 17, 18-year-old generation, they're concerned about the future. They're concerned about what if and what can. And so the moment you realize that it ends, it just brings peace to your heart. That, okay, I'm having a rough time, I'm going through some challenges, and it's not going to last. And that by itself kind of shortens the span of the challenging phase you're going through.
It will always work out.
Like the saying that this too shall pass. So we shouldn't caught up at the moment. It's, somehow life, you find a way to untie the knot and progress.
So that takes me very nicely into my last question. I always ask this question at the end. And that's because I get to learn a lot more about how you think and your quotes. So I've picked up lots of quotes along the way. So I'd love to know if you have a quote that you live by, each of you.
My quote is, never fear to fail, and success is not final. That's my quote that we go by. Tariq has his own quote.
So that's a quote by Jaya.
Yes.
I love quotes. There's plenty of quotes I can think of, but there's one that always resembles me, which is people will hate you, rate you, shake you, and break you. How strong you stand is what makes you.
Can we say that again?
People will hate you, shake you, rate you, and break you. How strong you stand is what makes you.
Well, that's a great time to end this. Should I share my quote with you? I
Please.
don't share very often.
Oh, sure.
I really don't. But I know when I do interviews and I get asked this, and I say my quote is maybe something I made up, but you must have heard it before. And for me, it's no does not mean no. It just means not now. So I am the most persistent person in the world because no only means not now. So I'm coming back again and again and again and again
That's nice.
until we change.
Could be a yes.
It could be a yes. So that's
Will be
why.
a yes.
Well,
In Marsha's terms.
yes. Because I'll never stop until it is a yes. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you
a
for having us.
great conversation. I'm sure there will be lots of learning from our audience. And we look forward to seeing how BloomingBox grows. It's grown so much in the last couple of years. And I wish you guys lots and lots of success. I'm sure you're amazing already and it can only get better from here.
Thank you.
Thank you.